Property insurance does not sound like a fascinating subject, does it? But if you ever need to make a claim, it will suddenly become very fascinating. And so with that in mind, let me race through 9 essential things that you need to know about property insurance. Hi, my name is Tony Law from Your First 4 Houses, and my channel is all about helping you achieve financial freedom through property. If this is your first time here, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notification icon so you don't miss out on any of the free content that I give you each and every week. So, I am going to happily speed through 9 insurance essentials really quickly, on the understanding that the first time you need to insure a property, you come back here and you re-watch this lesson. Does that sound fair? Okay, so number 1, unoccupancy. The unoccupancy period varies from insurer to insurer, but generally speaking, they allow 30, 45 or 60 days before you need to do anything or indeed notify them. But at the time of filming, Direct Line is only 14 days. This is obviously a big deal for landlords because sometimes we have voids, don't we? When, for example, one tenant moves out and the new tenant moves back in, and so you need to check your policy documentation. Number 2, HMO or single let. If the property is an HMO, you must advise the insurer and not try to get away with conventional buy-to-let type insurance. And it's also worth noting here that most insurers will not give cover on an HMO. Even in today's market, this is still considered to be a relatively small and specialist field. Number 3, malicious damage. Malicious damage by tenants is not a cover that's automatically provided by most insurers. Sure, for some it is an option, but with others they simply won't cover you for malicious damage at all. Where the insurer does give cover, they may have a claims limit and or an increased excess, some as high as £2,500. Number 4, tenant type. It is imperative you tell the insurer what type of tenant will be occupying your property, be it students, professionals, DSS, charity, asylum seekers, etc. Whatever it is, you must tell them. Number 5, avoid the average. By this, I mean make sure the building sum insured is sufficient. Average means any claim will be reduced in proportion to the underinsurance. So let me give an example of what I actually mean here. If your sum insured on a particular building is, say, £200,000, and when you come to make a claim, the insurance company's loss adjuster comes out and they ascertain that the building should have been insured for £300,000, well, you're underinsured by 1/3. Therefore, if you were to put in a, let's say, £30,000 claim for a fire in the kitchen, the loss adjuster will apply average and only pay out £20,000, i.e. 1/3 of what you should be getting, less any policy excess. Number 6, declare all claims. Most insurers ask for a 5 years claims history, whilst a few ask for 3 years. However, subsidence history must always be declared regardless of how long ago it was. Number 7, construction. Always make sure you declare the construction type of the property, and in particular if it has a flat roof, and that's regardless of whether the flat roof covers just 5% of the building or the whole lot. Timber framed and composite panels are other types of construction that can be problematic, and so you've always got to make sure that you tell the insurer what the actual fabrication of the building is. Number 8, loss of rent and indemnity period. Standard cover for loss of rent is normally 20% of the building's sum insured with a 12-month indemnity period. So what does that mean? Well, typically the time taken to rebuild a property with a £1 million building sum insured, for example, could take 9 to 15 months. However, what most people do not allow for is that it can take 9 months just to draw up the plans, obtain the planning permission, clear all the debris from the site before any new build work can actually even get started. Therefore, always press for an indemnity period of 24 months as an absolute minimum, and in some cases, especially on bigger sites, ideally you want to go for 36 months. And finally, number 9, other policy conditions. You must comply with all of them. A common one that's often missed is that you must hold a valid periodic inspection report for the electrical installation. These are commonly valid for 5 years. If you're already a landlord, do you hold a valid electrical periodic inspection report? So if you're still watching this, a huge congratulations on getting this far. Most people would have clicked away at point number 2. Before you go, why don't you check out my super duper 50-point checklist, which will give you everything that you need to do before buying investment property number 1. And also, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks ever so much. I hope you enjoyed that, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.